like I say, I could explain it all to you, and it would make perfect sense. And especially if I broke out the pictures and everything else, I could walk you through time and space and basically all the different projects that I paid for and was a part of and did. And basically, as I paid for things and invested in things, and pretty much how it all happened. All the different aircraft, all the different tanks, all the different everything. Because I was the owner and leader of all these people and all these countries, and paid for like Germany and everything, and basically bought it, and a couple other countries too, or towns too. I just buy them and then improve them. Like this is for you, and this is for your town, and this is to build the town bigger and better. So, because we're gonna stop with this silly stuff, and we're gonna go real civilization. And most people were happy with that because it's like, well, basically you're failing and it's like just a couple huts and stuff like that. So I'm buying you out, and we're gonna build all new stuff and put power to you, and put electrical power lines in, and also a real water system, because like a lot of these little communities are just basically well water, or fledgling little communities of like 4 huts put together, and it's like, well, we can do a lot better. you know, um, Real power lines, high voltage, real water systems, everything done right, real sewage treatment, and so like a lot of these cities, like that's why I was buying them and building them, was because, and investing in them, because like I'm investing in countries and people, and basically, I could offer a real water system. Like I said, Panama has a real filtration system on the water. Like all my cities had real filtration systems and real sewer systems. Like I said, we did tests, and I could also show off a lot of my tests, London City and all that other stuff, and a lot of these other cities. Like, I could recoup poo, and actually turn poo into real fuel and real fertilizer or something like that. Like I can use my companies can use 90% of the poop sediment from sewage. So, we pioneered it in London and some of the other things, and lit the streets and even lit the houses with basically poop gas, and also and then had fertilizer left over. So, so that could actually be sold. Like I said, you get from London on. I had a company basically that would take the raw sewage, and they would add the bacteria or whatever, and it would or steam, and we'd cook it down, and we'd get gas out of it, and we'd light all of London, and also get the 90% of the gas out of there, and then also get good, pretty good fertilizer or some sort of oil stuff or something. I forget exactly what it breaks down to. It breaks down to a couple different elements. And then, so we were able to get 90% use out of the poop, which is ridiculous. Anyway, so, and that started somewhere around 19 or 18, maybe 17, I don't know. We did it in London. We did a small scale test, and then we did a big scale test, and we did like 3 tests where it's like a big scale, a small scale. Well, there's 3 towns, and we put one in each town at a high price. So there was a small, medium, and large scale test of this poop recovery system, using brick, of course. So it was rather expensive and rather hard, but it was the first time. So it's like, it's the first time, and so like I spent like 12,000, like 1,200 or something pounds on it, which is a lot, which was a lot back then. I mean, it was a lot of money to get all these bricks put in and get the filtration system worked out. And like I said, there's also a lot of fine tuning with it because it was the first time. It was like in like 1800. But then later on, it proved the science and proved the technology that we could get 90% poop recovery from the sewage. So you're not just dumping it inside the river, you're actually recuperating it. And so you actually get usable fuel out of it and fertilizer or whatever. I forget what we get out of it. It breaks down to something usable. So like 90% basically. And you can actually even sell that. And it's clean and good to sell and is real. I forget if what was it breaks. I think it might break down to nitrogen or whatever, the base elements. So I forget exactly. We had a whole poop science division, and so you're making money. So we were making money on the gas and what was left over. So we actually were making money off of poop, quite a bit of money, in fact. Like I said, in the end, it was like we're actually making a lot of money off of this. It's like, yep, that's what I thought. So, and we put one in. We had one in London, or there are three cities around London that were there, and then we were doing some larger scale and some big scale, and even trying to take on some large cities with this poop recovery system. So anyway, yeah, and I had to invest like a couple, like I'd already proven it like in 1800 or something like that, and then this company was just going along, and so yeah, 90% from the poo, and then like I say, and then I was investing in a better, cleaner system because there's still some smell. Some people said, well, it still smells, but we'll see if we can get that done. Anyway, so I invested like $150 million or something like that money a long time ago. So at some point in time, furthering all my sciences, because I'm like, well, it's a proven, because from like 1900, we were actually making money off of poop because we were selling the gas, which is meterable. And that's another thing. You can meter gas. So we were actually selling the gas and we were making quite a bit of money off of the gas. And so that money was going back into paying the workers better as well as increasing science. So my scientists were still working on the whole poop recovery system to try and refine it and make it easier and better. And that's all a big problem and everything else like that. And that continues on from like 1800 or whatever. So, and then now, they're great big huge facilities, that handle like huge amounts of poop from people and probably make a very nice profit off of it. So anyway, so but like I say, when you get to the big scale of owning a country, it's like, or owning planets and galaxies, it's like, it's like, it's almost like I don't even have money. I just have things actually get done that I want to, and I actually take part in naming things in history. So I got way past that whole thing. So anyway, but yeah, and then you get into the whole Rodney and everyone else effect of like, well, being denied and people saying, well, it's like, well, I'm the creator of 800 galaxies and you can't really rationalize that. So, whatever. Anyway, and then you get into all the people trying to overthrow or take over or just like mess with me. So it's like, Yeah, and for the most part, they couldn't mess with me because, well, it's like messing with the government. Anyway, though, but before there was a government, there was me. So, and then there's a parallel between how I'm not really, I'm government, but I'm not government because I made the rules for the government, and the government is just made up of all my rules and all my decisions over the years. So it's like, yeah. And then you get into where Nixon and a whole bunch of other things, and even Trumpy want to take the power, and it's like, well, you were never really president. You were just renting a house. Like I said, I asked him. I said, how can they be president? How can this be happening? It's like, well, they're not. They're actually just renting your house. The Republicans are renting your house. Pretty much. And it's like, oh, they're renting my White House. Yeah. Oh. Except their check bounced. Yeah, the Republicans and the Democratic Party are completely and totally broke. So, yeah, they're living off of drug money or what money they could get out of the drug dealers or something else like that, like by controlling the laws and making drugs illegal and then locking up drug dealers or people that sold drugs and stealing their money. That's how the Republicans and the Democrats were actually even having money in the first place. And they were using that money to rent my White House and the Capitol building. And that's basically what they were doing. And they didn't really have any money. And they haven't had money for a very long time. And the Pope's broke as well. The whole Vatican, like then 45 years ago, they stole all the gold or all the money and ran off to Switzerland and basically hid out there. And not the Germans, but somebody else. And pretty much they're broke as well. So with the upkeep of all the buildings and everything else and all the other stuff, they're broke. So it's like,